This practice clinic is about a very common workplace moment, being asked for an update. Not a presentation, not a formal report, just a moment when someone asks, "How's that going?" or "Where are we up to?" These moments happen in meetings, in passing conversations, and often when there hasn't been time to think things through properly. When people struggle with these moments, they often assume the issue is confidence or communication skill. In practice, it's usually something much simpler. The moment is asking for one thing, and people respond with everything they know. That's when rambling starts. When people talk about rambling during updates, it usually happens in a few familiar situations. For example, being asked for an update in a meeting you didn't expect to speak in. Being asked for progress when the work is still messy. Being asked casually, but feeling like you need to justify yourself. Being asked in front of others where visibility suddenly increases. You don't need to relate to all of these. One is enough. Rather than answering all of those situations, I'm going to work with just one. Being asked for an update in a meeting when you're not fully ready and you know there's more detail than anyone actually needs. This isn't about crafting the perfect update. It's about choosing a clear starting point. I'll give a simple example, not a polished one, just a workable one. At a high level, things are on track. The next step is X. Notice what that does. It answers the question before adding detail. It gives you somewhere to stand. You're not explaining a framework. What's doing the work here isn't confidence or fluency. It's the decision to start at a high level instead of starting inside the detail. That choice alone prevents a lot of rambling. Here's another version when things aren't completely on track. Overall, it's progressing. There's one issue we're working through, and the plan is X. Again, notice what that does. It acknowledges reality without opening every thread at once. If you're watching this as a recording, I'd invite you to pause for a moment and try this privately. Think of a real update you might be asked for this week and just practice the first line. You don't need to solve the whole thing. Just choose a starting point. One of the hardest parts of this is stopping early. Many people keep talking because they're trying to be helpful, thorough, or responsible. But an update doesn't need to contain everything you know. It needs to do one thing well. Give the other person enough clarity to decide what they want next. More detail can always be added after. Here are a few phrases people often find useful. You don't need to memorize them. Just notice what they have in common. At a high level. Overall, it's moving. The main focus right now is happy to go into more detail if that's useful. They all create structure before explanation. Before we finish, I'd encourage you to notice one thing. What's one phrase you heard that you could imagine using in your own words? That's enough for today. Being asked for an update isn't a test of how much you know. It's a moment that benefits from restraint. The skill isn't giving the full picture. It's choosing a clear entry point so you don't undermine yourself. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to practice, even quietly.